Hello everybody, it's Cindy the Scrapologist. Thank you for coming back to my channel. I'm working on a steampunk journal and I have a whole variety of things that I am rusting today. I'm rusting paper, chipboard, metal, paper clips, keys, all sorts of things, and I want to take you along on the journey in case you really love all things rusty and grungy. So if you're interested, stay tuned and join me. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you was how to rust chipboard. I have these Tim Holtz frames, baseboard frames they're called, and I love the shape and the texture of these, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not thrilled about this color. So I wanted to rust one up, and it started out looking like this, and this is the rusty version. So I want to show you first how I did this. I use a product called Sophisticated Finishes, and it is an antiquing solution. So how this works, and I'll put the link below, how this works is you first paint with this one, you first paint your surface, and it is an iron paint. And of course, we all know that iron rusts. So you paint this on your surface, and then this is the rusting solution that oxidizes this paint. And it has a beautiful effect. I bought this one time in a big, huge tub and rusted a table and chairs for outside on my porch one time, and it just works really wonderfully. So I thought, well, I'm going to buy a smaller version and use it in my crafting projects, which I did. So let me show you quickly how this works. You do have to shake this up really good. Uh, all right. And get yourself a paintbrush. Now, my paintbrush, my paintbrushes are really in bad shape. I was doing some gluing and I didn't clean them properly, so they're really stiff. So that's why I got these lines on my frame, but I actually like those. So if you don't like these lines, then use a softer paintbrush. So you just take this, and you can see that it's even rusting my paintbrush. So take a little bit of the paint and apply it wherever you want your chipboard to be rusted. And it doesn't have to be thick. You don't have to cover all areas. And this would be better with a smaller paintbrush too. I'm just making a mess, but like I said, I just don't have any paintbrushes left. I need to go out and buy some. And I'm kind of wasting some of this paint, but oh well. All right, so it's that simple. And then I'm going to let this dry. Let me wipe this off. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put the oxidation on. And I'll, in the same way, just rub it on with a paintbrush, or you can do all kinds of techniques. You can dab it on with a paper towel if you want to. It depends on what look you're going for. This one, I rubbed it over the whole frame with the paintbrush, but I actually put a second coat down here, and I put it on a little thicker down here. So I'll show you this once it's dry and once I've oxidized it. This solution is very thin. It's thin like water, so it goes on really easily. It's not like the iron paint. So that's how I do my chipboard. And like I said, at the end, I need to let this dry, and I'll show you how this turned out. I did another video when I was first experimenting with this that you can look up in my playlist. But I did try it on paper, coffee stained paper, and it didn't really. It kind of rusted it, but not really. And mostly what you're seeing is the iron paint with a few little things of rust. But I do like the look of it. The oxidizing chemical kind of leaked over here and created a cool patina. It soaked through a little bit. It'd be kind of fun for mixed media projects, but I'm not sure that I would put this in a junk journal. I don't know. Have to think more about that. And then I tried it on 2 pieces of chipboard. So this is a piece of chipboard that's just plain with no Mod Podge or anything on it. And I had to put a lot of the oxidizer on in order to rust it because it kept soaking into the chipboard instead of just staying on top with the paint. So that didn't work out really well, although it's a cool mixed media look if you like that. Then I tried it with, you can see the Mod Podge. I tried it to see if it would work a little better, and it did. It did rust some of the paint. So you could probably Mod Podge a piece of chipboard and then do this technique if you wanted maybe a cover that looked like that, or just wanted a chipboard element. It's kind of cool looking. So that's chipboard, cardboard, and paper. That's how I rust those elements. Now I want to show you some different techniques for rusting up different metal pieces. Okay, so this technique works really, really well on metal surfaces. That's probably what this is originally designed to do, is to rust metal. Who else but junk journalists would want to actually rust something, right? So I have these brass altered blank canvas pieces. They're brass, and I used this product on it, and it looks fantastic. It's really super rusty. This is what it looks like without it, and this is what it looks like once you rust it. So this works really well on metal. Here I did a little clock handle, a clock pointer. I'm searching for the word there. Clock dial, I don't know. But it was originally, you can see it was originally this bright, bright silver, and it rusted it up just beautifully. You can also do bottle caps if you like to have bottle caps in your projects. These make really super fun closures. Maybe one day I'll do a video on how to do a bottle cap closure. But you can see how bright, bright it was. But recycle your bottle caps and make some for your projects. This is a plain gold, very shiny, shiny gold dog tag that I painted and rusted, and that turned out really well. I want to I want to do a paper clip, and this is the Tim Holtz hinge clip. Hinge clip, I think it's called. I think some people call them bulldog clips, but I want a rusty one to be able to put up at the top of my journal. This is one of the Tim Holtz frames. I never really liked the color of these. This is kind of a gunmetal silver, so I want to work with this a little bit. I also have these awesome keys by Blank Slate. It's either, I don't know if this goes with this though. Oh yeah, key blanks. key blanks, and I'm pretty sure I got these at Hobby Lobby along with these jewelry shop items that are kind of dog tags. Pretty sure Hobby Lobby. But I have a vintage Sizzix. And the vintage Sizzix, the reason why I bought that one is because it embosses metal too. So I took one of the key blanks and I put it through my vintage. And what you do is you get these little folders, embossing folders by Sizzix, and you just lay your key or your metal, whatever you want to emboss, in there and put it through your Sizzix. And I think that they're just really beautiful. So I'm going to do one of these. I'm going to use a couple of different techniques. These two, I'm going to use the paint. So I will show you those at the end. And actually, I'm going to do one of these too because I don't like this blue. I'm going to rust one of these dog tags. If I can get it out. My hands aren't working well today. There we go. That's just a shiny blue that I don't really care for this particular steampunk project. Say that fast 3 times. Okay. All right, so these items here, I'm going to use the rusting solution, and I'll show you these at the end. These two, I'm going to do something a little different. Okay, now this section is not really about rusting, but it's about changing the color of a metal if you don't like the color. So I have this frame here that is a silver color that I want to change, and I have one of the Tim Holtz frames that I said earlier is the gunmetal silver. I'm not sure about these colors. And then I decided not to rust this key. I decided that I want to color this as well. So what I like to use for this, it's also another vintage product, and I'm not a spokesperson for them or anything. That would be nice, but I'm not. But they have these patinas for metal. My favorite is the rose gold, but I also here have white gold, and I have onyx, which is a jet black, and they have just such a variety of colors, bright blues and pinks, and just they have a lot of variety, but I tend to be more of a vintage girl, so these are my go-to colors. And I'm not sure how it's going to show up on camera, but I experimented a little bit with the back side of these. So this is the front side, which is that silver. And I do have to angle it so that you don't get this glare. I apologize from my overhead light. But so this is the silver. And then on the back here, this is the white gold. And probably not showing up great, but it's very subtle. It blends in quite a bit with this silver. On this one, so here's the original color, and this is the white gold. I can angle it okay for you guys. The one on the top is the white gold, and the one on the bottom is the onyx. Very black. Okay, so and for this one, it's kind of a brass color, and I used my favorite, which is the rose gold on that side. So this is very easy to use. I'm using the rose gold today for the particular project that I'm working on, but I usually just put a little bit onto my mat. This is just one of those silicone mats that you find in the baking aisle. You can get like 4 for $5. And I just paint it on. I love rose gold. My wedding ring, I'm sorry, engagement ring, which is actually in a safe right now. I'm just wearing a different, an everyday set, but it was my great grandmother's from 1914, and it's rose gold. And I love that. I just love rose gold. So I'm going to paint it on, let it dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to go and rub it off, and then I'm going to paint this one rose gold. This you can't really see probably, but ooh, fumble fingers as usual. Um, this area here, this decorative part, is debossed, so I'm hoping that I probably should have done black on this one. I'm hoping that the rose gold will just sink into that debossed area and just stay on there. And yeah, because I'm going to use black because this rose gold just isn't showing at all. So let's use the black and then rub it off and see if we can just bring out some of this. So that worked very well. It went from this shiny, shiny silver to more of a muted look, and the black settled into those debossed areas. And now I'm much more happy with the look of this. I'm happy with that. Let me rub a little bit off this key. And so that turned out beautiful. A rose gold embossed key just from this blank. What a difference, huh? Love it. Love it. Now I can put a pretty ribbon around it and maybe put it on my carpetbagger journal that I'm getting ready to list in my shop. Then this one here, because it is so dark, I think, but I'm still not into gold today, so I'm not going to use that one. I think I'm going to try the rose gold on this. I like that much better. It's very subtle, and I could put one more on there as well, one more coat if I want it to be a little darker. So that's the other product that I use when I want to make things look a little more aged. And let me bring back the other items that I rusted and show you the final results. Okay, so here's my little collection of goodies that I made today. I'm really happy with the way everything turned out, especially these frames. I'm thinking this is from my Artist Wives digital kit, and I'm thinking I'm going to put this over there, and let's see if I have a fabric cover that I'm working on. And I think that is going to be so beautiful on the cover of a journal. Really super happy with this. I did end up going in and I just did some areas. I didn't do the whole thing like I did on this one. I just wanted it to look like it had rusted naturally. So I took my paintbrush and I sort of went like this and dabbed some here, spread some on, and just went crazy with it with just little dots and things. And really super happy with that. I have two of these now, and I'm going to do the others. And then the ones that I painted, they're not showing up really great on camera, but this rose gold is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful, and it's just like a metallic pink tone to it. I wish the camera would pick up really the color better. And then my rusted items, I already showed you some of these. This, I'm going to need to do one more coat of the oxidizer because I want it a little more rusted looking than this. You can still see a lot of the metallic, the iron paint on it. So sometimes you do have to go back in and do a second coat with the oxidizer. No big deal. I'll just put it on with the paintbrush and let it dry. And it also often continues to oxidize. It's only been an hour since I did this, so it might keep going. I'll check it a little later on and see if it needs some more. And then same with the paper clip, it needs a little bit more of the oxidizer, or I need to just let it sit for a little bit longer. But I'm really happy with all of this. So I hope that, oops, this doesn't belong here, but I hope that you give this a try and that you learned something today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.